Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now today's episode, I'm going to show you how I'm going to pay off my car loan with GM Financial with this, my new Chase Ink Premier Business Credit Card. So in this episode, I'm going to walk you through my full strategy. We're going to string together a few different financial tools to be able to do this. We'll come out on the other end doing the math, seeing if the return was worth the hassle or not. So if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, first things first, we might cover a lot here, so chapters 2 will be down below, but let's start out with this. Generally speaking, when it comes to making a large purchase, you want to look for a credit card that you can put it on. Now, unfortunately, some of our largest expenses, usually mortgage, rent, car payments, things like that, are hard to pay with a credit card for various reasons. Number one, in this case, we're talking about GM Financial. GM Financial doesn't really want to be bothered with the processing fee of a credit card. Number two, sometimes you're trying to pay debt with other debt. The person collecting doesn't really know if next month you're going to pay the credit card or pay them or what. They don't really know, so it's easier just to say, hey, give me an ACH, and that's it. Now, the backstory here, as you might have imagined, I have a car loan, 2017 Cadillac ATS. I've talked about it before. It was bought certified pre-owned. I'm in the last year of the loan, I think, year and a half, something like that. It's got about $12,000 left. Now, the interest rate is 0.9%, which generally means you don't want to pay that off because that's almost like free money. Again, if you're watching this now, this was purchased, in 2018, 2019, something like that, when, car dealers were trying to get rid of used cars. So if you looked around hard enough, you could find them trying to give you a really favorable interest rate, which is, in 2022, not really the case. But anyways, let's talk about why I want to do this, and then we'll get into the strategy. So again, 0.9, really good. It's not necessarily that I want to pay it off. I'm fine with this interest. However, in April, I'm probably getting back into the housing market, and I will be looking for property number 3. Now, for ordinary folks, this isn't a big deal. Having a car loan is really not going to affect your mortgage process that much, given your other finances. However, we're talking about having 2 other properties that you're not selling, going to get a third, and also considering that I would expect, purchasing to still be competitive, I want to increase my purchase power as much as possible. And the way you do that, the way mortgage companies look at this is very simply put DTI, or debt to income, the money that comes in each month versus the money you have to pay to liabilities each month. So this car payment is $620 a month. Again, it's got about a year or so left on the loan, so I might as well just get rid of it. It's going to help me out increasing my purchase power. Now, really quick here, again, we're not really here to talk about that, but again, you have to have the money to do this, number one, and number two, just make sure, if you were going to do something like this, that's not going to affect the amount of money you have for your down payment. So that's the backstory as to why I would want to do this. Now, here's where it gets interesting for you guys. We have about $12,000 with GM Financial. We want to obviously hit a sign-up bonus if possible, but again, we talked about it. They don't take credit card. If you go on their site, I can do like an ACH, I think a wire or a debit card, something like that, but that's it. No credit card. So what we're going to do is we're going to string together a few things. One, we're going to string together a credit card. Number two, we're going to make a pit stop, a tool that Visa has that may allow us to save a little bit of money. And number three is Plastiq. Now, I will talk about all 3 of these. For Plastiq, I will do a separate video, right? So this video is going to be the strategy and how-to guide. If you want the Plastiq video, if it's not already out, it'll be linked down below. If not, it'll be coming right after this. But long story short, you know how a credit card works. I'll talk about the Visa thing in a second, but Plastiq is a company that allows us to pay things with a credit card. Long story short of it is you basically log your credit card with Plastiq, you enter in the information of the vendor you want to pay. Plastiq charges your card plus a fee, 2.85% to be precise, a processing fee. Then Plastiq will mail or ACH the check to someone, in this case, GM Financial. So that's the Cliff Notes version of it. Again, full walkthrough I will be shortly after this or link down below if I've already done it. So with that, the first thing we need to do is identify. The first thing you do is identify the thing you want to pay off, and then identify a way to pay it. Now we've done that and figuring out we want to pay GM. This is money we have to spend. We know we're going to have to go through Plastiq, but we still have some things to set up. So first thing is the credit card. Now I spoiled it. Again, it's the Chase Ink Premier, which I'll have a full video on this. I will link it down below, but I'll put it on screen as well so we can talk about why this card specifically. So here we have it, the Chase Ink Premier. Now, of course, it does have an annual fee of $195. $25. But this card has two or three things that we wanted. Number one, it has a sign-up bonus, 100,000 points for $10,000 in spend. Now this, even though it has ultimate rewards, this is basically like a cashback card. You can't transfer out the points like you're used to with ultimate reward points. So that's going to be $1,000. Now, it's also a Visa business card, Visa signature card. That's going to be important. We'll talk about that in a second. Number two is that 2.5x back on all purchases above $5,000 and above. Those are the reasons we picked this card. Because, again, we can see the sign-up bonuses are required to spend $10,000. We have a car loan that has about $12,000 outstanding, so that right there matches up pretty good. However, we talked about it, Plastiq has a fee of 2.85%, so being able to get a multiplier of 2.5% gets us really close to just about canceling out that processing fee, right? There's still some left, but it's much closer than if we used a card like the Ink Preferred, right? The Ink Preferred is a good card as well, sign-up bonus, but you're only going to get 1x back. You know, there's no multiplier for purchases above $5,000. That's how we landed on the Ink Premier. Now, yes, this processing fee is going to cut into our sign-up bonus, and so is the annual fee. However, when I look at these type of cards, I'm looking at them from the standpoint of what's the likelihood that I could use this card to hit the sign-up bonus organically or normally. And I probably could if I waited till the home purchase was complete. You know, you never know the level of work you're going to need to do when you're talking about building out a rental. There's going to be some level of renovation for sure. However, there's plenty of other cards that I can use for that, you know, and there's going to be more cards that come out. So this card made the most sense to take advantage of because of that 2.5x and because of the Visa rewards. Now, that's the card, but why do I keep talking about it needed to be a Visa signature card? Because before we get to Plastiq, we're going to make a pit stop on something called Visa Savings Edge. So if you take a look at this is basically a setup run by Visa Savings Edge, that they have basically coupons, if you will, that you can add to your card. Now, sign up is really easy. I don't think this requires a separate video, but if you want one, let me know. But setup is really easy. Basically, you need to have a Visa business card. Then you can go ahead and register it, make an account, and you can see here the one we're interested in is Plastiq. You can save 1% on your first $2,500 in Plastiq payments. Now, unfortunately, this used to be higher. It used to be the full 2%, I think, but it got nerfed, but that's fine. Because if you take a look at this, simply signing up your Visa card for this site here, for this Visa product, saving 1% on $2,500 is $25. And since we have to spend at least $2,500, that works great. We're going to save $25 on this, which doesn't sound like a lot of money, but you'll see at the end it's actually, when tied into that 2.5x multiplier, it's actually very helpful. So this is the second step. I register my card here. Now, from what I can see on the site, there's no like add to card button, so the rebate should be added to your credit card account a few days after you make the purchase. I've seen plenty of data points that suggest this. There's also a special link you can click that takes you directly to Plastiq's site, so I'm going to do that just to be super safe and definitely take screenshots just in case. But that's our second stop. Now our third stop lands us at Plastiq, and this is where everything gets good. Again, I won't spend a ton of time on the how-tos because full video coming after this. But Plastiq, again, what you're going to do is go in, put in GM Financial's information, enter in your card, and then you can go ahead and pay them. Just like that, they will mail them a check or do ACH if GM Financial accepts. In this case, GM Financial just said, mail me a check. Now you can find all this information that you need, your account info, mailing address. It'll be in your account, in your GM app or whatever service you're trying to pay off. There used to be back in the day, you'd get statements mailed home. They have a coupon at the bottom of them. If you do that, that info could be there as well, but I don't think most people are going to have coupon books from that old. So anyways, there you go. We've kind of strung together everything we need high level. So let's walk through the math, and the math will serve as our recap, and then we'll kind of summarize on the back end and figure out if this was actually worth it or not. So here we go, the final numbers we're looking at. The Ink Premier sign-up bonus, 10,000 points for 10K in spend, is going to be $1,000. Now the payment to GM Financial is $10,000. Yes, the car loan is for 12, but going over 10 makes no sense because of the 2.85% fee. If these were ultimate reward points and you could transfer them out, then yeah, I think it would make perfect sense to just finish it off. But unfortunately, it doesn't, so don't go over $10,000. Now, the Plastiq processing fee is 2.85%. 10,000 times 2.85 is going to give you $285. Now, the Visa Savings Edge, 1% off of $2,500. 2,500 times 1% is going to be $25. Now we bring in the Ink Premier multiplier of 2.5x on purchases above $5,000. Now remember, the card is going to be charged $10,285 all in for that processing fee. So we're going to take that, multiply by 2.5%, $257.12. Now, unfortunately, we do have a high annual fee. It's going to be $195. We do need to account for that. But you can see here we're left with a total of $802.12. Just like that. And that's pretty interesting because we were able to string together that Visa Savings Edge and the 2.5x. You can see that really we're only almost giving up the annual fee that we would have had to pay anyways. $195, we're getting $800 back in cash back, which really isn't that bad considering, again, we'd have to pay that anyways. Now, yes, if you were doing this organically, you had a way to, avoid Plastiq altogether, then yeah, you'd get a little bit more money, a few $100 actually, with that 2.5x if you could time it right, with the 5 purchases over $5,000. Even if you couldn't do over $5,000, you're still getting 2x back, which is pretty good. However, again, as I said in the middle of the video, I don't think I'd have a way to hit this anytime soon, and this was the best card to serve the job for this for money I already had to spend. Now, overall, I'm pretty happy with this. Again, I told you my car payment is $620 a month, so you could say this is a free car payment and then some. You could say this pays for a lot of the interest on that 0.9% loan over the course of the life of the loan. You can look at it however you want to, honestly. And again, this wasn't a card that I was going to be able to take advantage of. Now, I will say one thing here. When I do videos like this, they seem like it's a lot of work, but it seems like a lot of work because I'm spending an inordinate amount of time talking about it, because if you choose to do this, you won't have me over your shoulder to help you. So I want to go into excruciating detail about why I'm doing this, how it works, and the math, so you can use it on your own. This actually isn't that much work. I mean, all in to do this, you're probably talking about from card application to signing up for Visa to doing the payment. It's probably 10 minutes worth of work total to net you $800. $800 that I wouldn't have been able to get. And the Visa Premier or Ink Premier served its purpose. I won't renew this in year number 2. Make one purchase, or it's 2 purchases because technically my credit limit is $10,000, so I had to do it in 2 purchases. But that's fine. Won't use it again probably, but some cards just serve a purpose. So there you go. Overall, I'm happy with this. This is kind of a demo that shows you how you can still pay things, out and get outsized value, even if the collector doesn't really want you to use a credit card. So I definitely think $800 is worth it for 10 minutes of your time. But of course, let me know down below, how would you change the strategy? What strategies do you use to kind of hit these really hard to obtain sign-up bonuses? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Anyways, guys, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. Again, my question to you guys is, let me know what you do. Let me know what you think of this. Do you like videos like this where we have some real world application? Love to get your thoughts on that. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one.